Welcome to the Custom Cleat Chronicles. This is a series we're finally bringing back where we get to bring you guys along for the ride throughout NFL season. This is always our busiest time of the year. And throughout these videos, we'll be able to showcase a lot of different things. Sometimes it'll be your classic painting tutorial. Other times we'll be talking more about the design process, maybe even showing the consultation process with the various players throughout the year, and hopefully just a bunch of other tips and tricks that you can learn from along the way. Maybe even going through some content and business stuff. I don't know, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Just trust me, all right? Let's dive into some color mix. It's always really cool when a player sends in either some merch or in this case gloves so that I can really nail that color match. Also, I mean, take a look at these. These look like, you know, like my son trying on my winter gloves or something like that. How big these gloves are, which is super funny. Now the real fun part about all of this is where all of these cleats actually end up. Being worn by NFL players on Sundays, there is nothing like seeing your work hit the field. Still hard for my brain to process that one all these years in, but anytime I can, I'll definitely try to sprinkle in some different pictures and clips of the players actually wearing them in the game. So for those of you who may not know, I have actually been painting cleats every single Sunday for my buddy Eric Ebron of the Pittsburgh Steelers for, hard to believe, 8 seasons now. Back when we got started, the guidelines for custom cleats were way stricter. You had to work within the team's colorway. You really couldn't do anything outside of that or the players were going to get fined. I do remember one time though, he had a Christmas Eve game for Monday Night Football. He said, "I don't care about the fine. I want an insanely dope Christmas pair." And thankfully over time the NFL has loosened restrictions when it comes to custom cleats, and we have done some really cool stuff over the years, and I owe a ton of my success to him, to even working with other NFL players. Not only has he been a great client, but he has brought me a ton of business along the way. So I definitely like to challenge myself to deliver something unique on a lot of his pairs, and I have a pretty cool idea in mind that I want to try to tackle for one of his first few pairs of the season. I want to try to do a diamond plate texture throughout most of the upper on one of these cleats, something that I know will really go well with the whole Steelers theme. Now I knew this diamond plate pattern was not going to be easy by any means, but what I like to do anytime I'm trying to tackle a new theme, a new pattern, a new texture, anything that I'm unfamiliar with, is I really like to try to reverse engineer it. So I'll spend a lot of time really just studying that final form and really just trying to visualize what are the steps I need to take in order to get there. I realized I needed to start with all of the individual silhouettes that would be taking a part of the pattern. And I needed to begin by laying down what will eventually be the shadow portion of each individual silhouette. A little bit of dark gray along with some texture, and now we're ready to cover these up. These are an extremely odd pair so far. This entire side wall is just so rounded. It made applying this stencil incredibly hard, trying to keep the pattern completely intact. I decided to put a Q-tip in here to try to force this little sidewall to just try to be a little bit more flat, just so it would be a little bit easier for me to lay down that pattern. But I am super intrigued to see how these turned out. This is definitely a pair where it's either going to be feast or famine. I'm either going to be super pleased with the result or I might just absolutely fall flat on my face, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. So let's go ahead and try to lay down some of that brushed metal look on top of these now. Rather than just going with the solid silver on top, adding a little bit of texture is going to go a long way here and really help bring together that weathered effect. After that, we're ready to peel back our stencils, and then it's time for our first round of highlights. adding a drop shadow here beneath each of the shapes is really going to bring this pattern to life and definitely give it that 3D look. I decided that ultimately my highlights weren't strong enough here, so I'm going to do a second pass on these. Going back and adding those highlights the second time, I think made a huge difference on these, and now I'm really pleased with how that diamond plate pattern turned out. I do think that I want to include a little bit more Steelers branding on here. I want to put Ebron's number on one side and then the Steelers kind of stencil font on the outside here, and I want it to look like it's kind of embedded into the diamond plate here. So again, we're going to have to get tricky with some airbrush tricks. So now I am going to get those stencils cut out, placed onto here, and I might do that same thing on the swoosh also. And that will be it for these. These are looking pretty good. I'm definitely pleased with how they've turned out so far. This was another one of those techniques where I really wasn't quite sure how I was going to go about it, so after just searching around trying to figure out what metal engraved text is actually supposed to look like, I realized it probably shouldn't be that difficult. It really looked like it was just going to be a matter of playing around with my shadows and highlights again. So by filling in my subjects first with a similar gray to the background, the next step was to add a simple vignette around each of them. And that vignette is what really gives it that sunken in feel. Now once we cover that up and spray a highlight around it, that's what's really going to bring this whole effect together. I'm definitely pleased with how these diamond plate cleats turned out, and I'm really glad that I challenged myself to do a really tricky concept on a rather unique canvas. Now another pair that I did for Ebron to start off the year is we wanted to take the Air Max 97 silhouette and transform it onto our pair of cleats. Now something that I want you to take note of anytime you're doing one of these types of themes or even looking at someone else's work is you want to pay attention to those tiny details. This is where your line weights really matter. You really want to make sure your line weights are the same exact thickness all the way around. You want to have those really nice clean curves. All of these little details are what's really going to give this a clean, professional factory look. And at the end of the day, quality, consistency, and craftsmanship never go out of style. Since we've already shown a couple of Ebron's cleats to kick off the year, why not show one more here? And for these, quite frankly, I just thought that black and Steelers yellow would look pretty good together along with some cement print. So let's see what happens. Took me about an hour to weed out all of these little sheets of cement print. Now I'm ready to lay these all across the entire upper of this pair of cleats. I already have my Steelers gold laid down, and then I'm going to be doing black on top of this cement print so that all of the little line work is going to be that yellowish gold. And this is a lot of vinyl to be laying down, and there's not a lot of room for error because if the stencil doesn't lay down properly, or if I have a lot of paint leaking underneath, this would be an absolute nightmare to do touch-ups all across the shoe with all of this cement print. So really need to make sure that this vinyl lays down precisely and that I don't have any paint leaking underneath, and hopefully once we start peeling this back, we have a nice clean pull. And here's the moment of truth. Now ultimately the entire cleat covered in cement print was a little bit too much for me, so I opted to add a little bit of a silver fade on my toe along with a yellow swoosh to really just help try to balance everything out a little bit more for these. Now, something that I love to do that a few people have told me is one of their least favorite parts of the process is finally getting to lace all of the shoes up, getting everything ready to be packaged and shipped out, having a big shipping day where you finally clear out your entire studio. And then it's time to clean up and do it all over again. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this first episode of the Custom Cleat Chronicles. Super excited to be producing this type of cleat content again for you guys. Make sure you follow us over on Instagram so you can see all of the photos we post of these pairs that we made. And don't forget, we are just 5 weeks away from the deadline for the DCF Heritage Contest. Alright guys, everybody get out there and just create.